Hi, I'm Amy from the Yogi Perogi, and we're located in Midtown Melbourne, Florida. We're going to do an all levels power flow today, so you can make this as challenging as you like. You will sweat, I sweat. And the ones joining me today, the fellow yogis, is Ruth, Annalise, and Shadi. So let's get on our mats. Find yourself in a comfortable seat, whatever that is. Allow the hands to rest on top of the thighs, whether the palms want to be up or down. And just take a moment and allow the eyes to soften. Try to find a nice long spine, even reaching those shoulders up towards the ears and drawing them back and down. And just take this moment to see if you can find a little bit of length through the inhales and exhales. Maybe even firing up that Ujjayi breath. The slight restriction through the throat on the inhale and exhaling through the nose. And you want to try to maintain that throughout your entire practice today. And with that, just taking a moment to set an intention of simply being present. So not worrying about whatever has happened already earlier today, this past week, or what's to come. When the mind gets distracted, just again, bring it back to your body physically on the mat. Check in how you feel mentally, how you feel emotionally. And then blinking those eyes open if they're closed. Let's go ahead and reach those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, drop back and down. We'll do that 4 more times. So inhale, reach it up. And back and down. 3 more times. Let's bring that left hand towards that right knee, right hand back behind you, finding a twist. So let's grow tall. Inhale. Looking over that right shoulder. Doing that 4 more times, using that resistance of that left hand on that right knee. So it is an all levels class, but still finding that challenge. So just noticing how your body feels, pushing yourself to whatever feels appropriate for your body today. Keep that hand where it is. We're just going to bring that right hand over the left. And then round the back slightly, so chin slightly tucked. Noticing how this feels through the neck, the upper body, the mid, the low back, even the hips. And then let's bring it back. You're going to keep that right hand on that left knee, left hand back behind. Grow tall. Look over that left shoulder. 4 more times like that with every inhale, creating space. With every exhale, twisting just a little bit deeper, feeling that belly pulled in towards the spine. Keep that right hand where it is. Let's bring that left hand over that right knee, and then round slightly, belly pulls in, just noticing how this side compares to the other. Good. Let's go ahead and bring it back up to neutral. We're going to find ourselves in a tabletop position. So those wrists are going to come underneath those shoulders, knees hip distance apart. We're going to find scapular push-ups. So keep those arms straight. Don't let the elbows bend. Just let your chest dip. Exhale. And then round with your inhale. 4 more like that. So the chest dips and round. And just trying to connect your breath with movement, knowing that your breath might be a little bit faster or slower than my cueing. Don't feel like you need to match mine. And then from this neutral tabletop, we're going to find the same thing, just little circles. So let your chest dip, roll around towards the right, up and over towards the right. So finding that circle from left to right. After a few rounds just like that, let's find the other way. So trying to keep those arms straight. That's a hard thing to kind of grasp. Let's find 1 more round here. Good. And then finding this tabletop, we'll thread that needle. So let's extend that right arm high, sliding it underneath, letting that temple drop. Your left arm can come forward. It can bind around you. Whatever you prefer here, or even just that left hand to support right beside you. If you have that half bind, try to roll that left shoulder a little bit higher. Remember, you should never feel any pain in the neck here. Let's bring it back into that tabletop position. Before we find the other side, we'll find our cat-cow. So inhale, look high towards the sky. And round exhale. 4 more, let's look high towards the sky. And rounding. For 3. For 2. And last one. Good. From this tabletop, we'll thread on the other side. So that left arm will lift, inhale. Slide it through, letting that temple drop. Notice if you want the same variation, or maybe you find the opposite on this side. Typically, your more dominant side tends to be a little bit stiffer. That's normal. If the arm's extended forward, try to roll the shoulder blade down. Good. Let's go ahead, bring it back up into that tabletop position. And we're going to find our first downward facing dog of this class. So curl the toes, lift your hips up high. Go ahead, walk out your dog, bending one knee, bend the other. Work out any creaks, snaps, pops, cracks. And then let's all rise to the balls of the feet with your inhale. Drive the heels down, exhale. Good, 4 more times. Let's rise as high as you can. Heels lower, exhale. 4, 3. 4, 2. And last one. Let's shift forward into our plank position. So you might have to wiggle the feet back a little bit, really try to push the mat away. Engage the glutes slightly, feel the belly pulled in. If at any point this plank position is too much, just alternate dropping the knees or find a tabletop, whatever you need. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Building up that internal heat, that focus. Remember our intention, be present. For this first one, let's all drop the knees. Elbows hug the ribs, lower all the way down. You're gonna find Sphinx pose, so slide the elbows forward. Let's open up the chest. Look over your right shoulder, exhale. Back to center, inhale. Left shoulder. Back to center. Let's release it down, hands by the ribs. Don't use your hands though, tops of the feet stay down. Lift your upper body up. So think as if the hands were scrubbing the floor away. Feel the chest shine forward. See if you can lift the upper body a little bit more. Hips stay down for 3, for 2, and 1. Push those hands into the mat. Open up the chest. Look over that right shoulder. Exhale. Back to center. Left shoulder. Back to center, child's pose. Drop the bum down towards the heels, but keep the elbows lifted. Just sway those hips from side to side for a moment. Taking our time before we start to find a little bit more power into our flow. Good, let's go ahead, shift forward into that tabletop. Let's extend that right arm forward, left leg back behind you. So try to eliminate that curve in that low back as much as you can. Try to flatten that here. Find your balance. And then when ready, inhale, elbow to the knee. And extend, exhale. Inhale, receiving. And letting go with that exhale. Good, 3 more. Last one. Hold the extension, kick your butt with the left leg. See if you can find it with that right hand. If you can't find it, just hold this extension. This is perfect right here. And breathe for another 3. For another 2. And 1. Find that extension, tabletop position. We're gonna find the other side, right leg extends, left arm comes forward. And when ready, inhale, elbow to the knee. And extend. 4 more. Try to find a tiny little ball each time. Hold that extension, kick your butt with that right leg, reach back with the hand, see if you can find it. Again, if not, just hold the extension and hold. Try to roll that left shoulder higher, maybe gaze looks up if you have that foot. Let's find that extension, tabletop position. Let's bring the tops of the hands down so the fingertips face one another, and just rock in the direction of those fingertips. We're gonna find those wrist push-ups, so just bend those elbows and push straight back up. Bend the elbows and straighten. Bend your elbows, hold, close your hands in a tiny little ball, and then open back up. Close your hands in a tiny ball, and open. Good, let's bring it back up. Shake out those hands a little bit, and then finding your downward facing dog. We're gonna tiptoe all the way up towards those fingertips. So make your way up. Once you get there, I want you to interlace those fingertips behind your back, and just shake the head, yes, shake it now. I like to widen my stance a little bit, sway from side to side. Letting gravity do the work here. Maybe those arms come up and over a little bit more. Not worrying again if the heels of the hands touch. Let's release those hands down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Fold with your exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch. Back to heart center, exhale. Inhale, arms high. Fold, exhale. Lengthen halfway. Left leg back, runner's lunge. So that right knee stacks over the ankle. Take your time to wiggle it back as much as you need here. And just find lightness into those fingertips. Try not to bring that chin to the chest. Try to find that nice long spine. Just waking up the hips. Feel the left heel drive back. This feels right. Extend that left arm forward, right arm forward. Draw the shoulder blades back. Remember, everything's an option here. We're only here for 2 more breaths. You got it. Let's find that twist. Left hand stays down, right arm high towards the sky. Try not to bear all that weight into that left hand. Remember, you can always drop the back knee down. Maybe you pop up to the fingertips. Maybe it floats all together, just depending on how you feel in this moment. Try to open up even past 12 o'clock. Let's bring those hands back down. We're just gonna step forward, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And fold. Interlace the fingertips the abnormal way. So if the left thumb was over the right, change it. And then notice how that feels. Recognizing any stiffness. Trying to keep those hips stacked over the heels. That might play with your balance a little. Good. Let's go ahead and release those hands down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Fold, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Interlace the index and thumbs to touch. Really grow tall. Lean towards your right side. So feel that left hip push towards that side. Try to rotate the chest as much as you can. Think left armpit high towards the ceiling. Your gaze can look down or up. Even check if you put on deodorant today for 2. Let's go ahead, bring it back up, grow tall. Other side. Again, try to feel active, hips pushing forward. Notice where the gaze wants to look. Let's bring it back up, grow tall. Arms release towards your low back. So feet hip distance apart. Push your hips forward. Feel the ribs lift, roll the shoulders blades back and down. You can keep your chin towards your chest or even look back behind you. This is gonna build heat fairly quickly. Giving your best effort, whatever that is in this moment. Let's slowly bring it back to neutral. Inhale, extend the arms high. And I want you to bend the knees as you fold. Grab opposite elbows, just sway, countering that heart opener that we just found. Noticing how the low back responded. Let's release those hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Right leg back, runner's lunge. So left knee stacks over the ankle. So nothing crazy, right? Try to feel that heel drive back. Maybe find a little bit more depth. You want to keep squeezing those thighs in. This time I want you to soar the right arm back behind you and left arm back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. It's going to find a slight lift. Feel the belly button lift. Breathe. Don't forget about that leg back behind you. Like we're taking off here. We're going to find that twist. So right hand comes down, left arm high towards the sky. And take a quick peek at the heel back behind you. Make sure it's not sickling out. Make sure the heel is driving back with the toe. Try to open up as much as you can. Good. Let's go ahead. Bring those hands down. Step back into your plank pose. This time we're going to lower chaturanga. Elbows hug the ribs. Lower halfway. Tops of the feet flip. Open up the chest for up dog. Downward facing dog. Good. Add movement. So remember, if down dog's just not feeling right for you, you could always find a tabletop or child's pose. Wiggle your feet closer together. Raise your right leg high. Bend that knee, stack the hips, nice hip yawn here. Add that rotation through the ankle. You can look underneath the left underarm or even the right, just again, what feels organic to you. Rotate the ankle the other way. Let's raise that leg high. Kiss the knee, round the back, hold. Knee comes down to a hover, look forward. 3 times the charm, kiss the knee round. Down to a hover. One more. Lizard, right foot lands to the outside edge of that right hand. Good, again, light into the hands here. Feel that right knee hug in towards this underarm for this variation. Just a few more breaths. You might start to sweat at this point for 2. We're gonna find our malasana. So step the left foot to the outer edge of that left hand. Drop your seat. So hands to heart center, just sway from side to side. The heels may not touch. It looks like all of us have it. And then let's keep that right hand down, left hand to the knee, or left arm high towards the sky. If this brings any sensations in the back that doesn't feel pleasant, just keep that left hand to the knee. Let's go ahead, bring that left hand down alongside that thigh, right hand to the knee or right arm high towards the sky. And we'll have options to increase the intensity a little bit more later. Try not to let the knees cave in. Good, let's go ahead, bring those hands back to heart center. And just hold here, try to find a little bit more length. Rise to the balls of the feet, and we're gonna come all the way up towards standing. So slowly come up for 5. Slower, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, let's go ahead, bring those feet closer together. Bring those big toes to touch. Let's inhale, extend the arms high. Fold, exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Step or jump back, chaturanga, elbows hug the ribs. Inhale, use that to open the chest. Downward facing dog. And again, we'll just take a few moments here, so if you want to add a little bit of movement, go for that. Rooting down through the index and thumb, feeling the elbow points rotate towards the thumb. Wiggle the feet closer together. Raise that left leg high. Bend that knee, stack the hips. Add that rotation through that ankle. Never hold your breath. Rotate around the other way. Good, let's bring that leg high. Kiss the knee, show some love. Bring it down to a hover, look forward. Kiss the knee round. Down to a hover. One more kiss. Down to a hover. Lizard, left foot to the outer edge. Good, squeezing that left knee in, just notice how this hip feels. There's one side that's always easier. Think malasana, right foot steps to the outer edge. And this time, when we drop our seat, we're all gonna come into our boat pose. So slowly find yourself down on your bum. Extend those legs forward. So you can keep the tops of the feet down, heels lifted, chest lifted. You can bring the shins parallel or even extend them out and hold. Keep squeezing the thighs, embrace the wiggles for another 3, for another 2,
Finding Ardha Navasana, bring it down to a hover. Keep the low back down on the ground. Keep your toes pointing forward, breathe. Like we're in endurance later for 4, 3, 2. We're gonna come up to chair. So use the momentum, bring it up. It does not have to be pretty. Perfect. So go ahead, rock back and forth, see if you can see those toes. Tuck your tailbone under. Let's bring those arms forward. So imagine like we're squeezing a block here. Keep the left hand here. Don't look at your right hand, but send the right hand as far back as you can. Make sure that left knee is not crossing over the right. And then go ahead, look at your right thumb. We have a tendency to lean forward. Try to dial it back. Let's bring that hand back to center. Right hand stays. How far can you bring that left arm back behind you? Tuck your tailbone under. Look at your left thumbs for another 4. Remember, you got it. Roll the shoulder down. Maybe drop your seat more. Inhale, chair. Forward bend, exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Left leg back, runner's lunge. Just for a moment here. We're gonna spin that back foot, warrior 2. So windmilling those arms up, make sure that knee tracks over that big toe. Feel the outer edge of that left foot push down into the ground. Roll the shoulders down. Good, rise to the ball of that right foot for a second. Notice if you can lunge a little bit deeper, hold here. This is just an option. Don't let the belly just be lazy here, pull it in towards the spine. Let's bring that heel down, reverse that warrior. Right arm comes up, that left arm can slide back behind you. Let's find that side angle. Bring that right elbow down, left arm high, or that right forearm might come down alongside that shin. So really feel that left arm lift high towards the sky. Trying to stack that left hand right underneath the right. Good, we're gonna find our side plank. So place your left hand down right underneath the face or even slightly ahead. Take this right leg, send it on top of the right arm high. You can always drop that bottom leg down. Just recognize where we need to be today. Notice, can you look up towards the sky? Feel those hips lift. You got it, you can do anything for 2 more breaths. Let's place those hands down. Forearm plank. Right forearm down, left forearm down. I'll give us a break after this. Try to make sure the booty's not lifted too high or too low. Feel those forearms pull away. You can sway from side to side. Good, 3 more breaths. Two more breaths, I lied. Good, let's go ahead, drop the hips, open up the chest. Look over that right shoulder, exhale. Back to center. Left shoulder. Back to center. Release it down. Hands by the ribs, elbows in. Cobra, up dog. Downward facing dog. Good. We're all gonna rise to the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, stomach touch thighs. Look towards the thumbs, hop forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Lengthen, inhale. Right leg back, runner's lunge. So just for a moment, spin the right heel, warrior 2. So when you come into it, feel free to adjust, right? Find your sweet spot. Let's rise to the ball of that left foot. Hold here, maybe sink down a little bit more. Keep that right arm just as strong as that left. Let's bring that heel down. Let's reverse. Left arm comes high. Make sure that left knee doesn't cave in. Let's bring it back, warrior 2. Side angle, bring that left elbow down to that inner thigh, right arm high, or left forearm comes down. So you don't ever want to see what color your mat is. And if our hands were to float, we should be able to keep our upper body where it is. The second you think you can't do it anymore, right? We already did it on the right side. Vashisthasana on the right side, so that side plank. Let's place that right hand down. You're gonna send this left leg as far back on top of that leg. Really lift those hips up, right? So no booty back. Try to pull it in, lift the hips. Push them out away as much as you can. What comes difficult today may be easy to do tomorrow. That's why they call it a practice. Good, let's go ahead, bring that left forearm down, right forearm down. We got our forearm plank again. So I love dolphin and chair. So we're gonna walk those feet forward, just like down dog, but you keep the head off the ground. Keep your feet closer together, it makes it easier. Look right in between the forearms. Push into those shoulders a little bit more. Look forward a little bit, Charlie. Yep, for 3. You got it, for 2. Keep looking forward. Slowly walk those feet back. Drop the hips, open up the chest. Look over the right shoulder. Back to center. Look over the left. Back to center. Release it down. Hands by your ribs, elbows in. Curl the toes, plank. Downward facing dog. Feel free, take a deep inhale. And side out. Just a couple more breaths here. Good, a little bit more dynamic movement. We'll go the feet closer together. Let's raise that right leg high. Right knee, right elbow. Send it high. Right knee, right wrist. Bring it high. To the armpit as high as you can. Bring it high. Crescent pose, right foot forward. Arms high towards the sky. So if you need to bend that back knee to keep that tailbone tucked, find that. Otherwise, keep straightening it back as much as you can. Roll the shoulders down. Dristy slightly ahead. We're gonna find a twist here. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen, twist towards the right. So left elbow towards the outside. Keep driving that left heel back as much as you can. If that left forearm can come down alongside that shin, that right arm can come high, just an option. Otherwise, just find that prayer twist. Gaze looks up if that's okay. Good, inhale, bring it up, crescent pose. Warrior 2. Narrow the stance a little bit, straighten that right leg. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand comes down, left arm high towards the sky. So nice long hold here. If you want to take this top arm up and over, that right arm might lift as well. Don't see what color your mat is. Try to spin as much as you can. Both quads engaged for 3. For 2. Last one. Inhale, warrior 2. Reverse the warrior. Windmill those hands down, runner's lunge. Walk over towards the left, wide leg forward bend. We're gonna grow tall, inhale, and fold. You can walk your hands back through those hands, or through the feet as much as you like, letting that head hang. You might even sway from side to side, whatever those hip flexors are asking for. And then finding stillness wherever you like. So there's so many options here. Feel the edges of the feet pull away from each other. Letting gravity do the work. Checking in with any of these forward bends. Let's bring those hands back underneath the face. Right hand stays down, left arm high towards the sky. You can take that top arm, find it back behind you if you like, twisting the chest a little bit more, try not to bear weight into those heels. Try to shift forward. Let's bring it back down, we'll just reset. Inhale, lengthen. Left hand stays down. Right arm high towards the sky. Again, try not to bear weight through those heels. Try to shift slightly forward. That top arm might even come back behind you to spin the chest a little more. Let's go ahead, bring those hands back down. Inhale, lengthen. Walk towards the top of your mat, runner's lunge. We're gonna step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen, fold. Reach those arms up overhead, inhale. Fold with your exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Chaturanga, step or jump back. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing. So each time we approach a new side, right, it's our blank canvas. Don't think too much. Remember our intention of being in the now. Let's raise that left leg high. Left knee, left elbow, so shoulders over the wrist. Bring it high. Touch that left wrist. Bring it high. Left armpit as high as you can. Bring it high. Crescent pose, left foot forward. Arms high towards the sky. So feel that right hip squeezing. Find your stability. Hands to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Inhale, lengthen, twist towards the left. So that right elbow to the outside. If you're in that prayer twist, you can always bring that right hand into the fist and left hand pushes against it. Or maybe that right forearm comes down, left arm high towards the sky. Or you can fall like I do. Three more breaths. Knowing twists are not easy. It compresses into that diaphragm. The breath is more important than the pose. Inhale, crescent, arms high. Warrior two, exhale. Let's straighten that front leg. Wiggle that right foot in. Triangle pose. Let's bring that left hand down. Right arm high. So first, feel those heels scrub in towards each other. Even feeling that right hip roll up a little bit. Let's bring that top arm up and over. That left arm might extend as well. Keep breathing. Those obliques are firing. This isn't easy. Good. Inhale, bring it up, warrior two. Reverse for just a second. Inhale. Runner's lunge. Place those hands down. We're going to walk our hands towards the right again. Remember, everything's an option. So first look up, inhale, and fold, exhale. Maybe you work on a headstand here. So you might place those hands down, top of the head down, elbows in. You don't have to. Keeping that, think like a tennis ball in. You might push into the hands, those legs might lift. Toes straight up towards the sky. Yeah, you can do it just like tripod if you really want to. You don't have to though. You don't have to. Take 3 more breaths wherever you are. That's awesome, Shadi. Slowly make your landing wherever you are. We'll look up, inhale. Walk towards the top of your mat. Step back, plank pose. Chaturanga. Wash it away, inhale, open. Downward facing. So take another deep inhale. Side out. One more deep inhale. Let it go. Look towards those thumbs. Rise the balls of the feet. Bend the knees. Step or hop forward. Lengthen. Fold. Chair pose. So we're going to build on what we just did. So hands to heart center. Lengthen. Inhale. Twist towards the right. So just hold here just like this. Make sure that left knee is not creeping past the right. Drop your hips a little bit more. First, ground into that right foot. Kick your butt with the left leg without going anywhere. Check in with your balance. Embrace the wobbles. Like a little funky flamingo here.
So funny.
Let's slowly find it back. Revolve crescent. Send that left leg back behind you. Good. Twist a little bit deeper if you're able. So if we fall, just come right back into this. We're going to think like warrior three with that leg lifted back behind you. So stay in the bind. Slowly shift forward a little bit. Keep the bend through the right leg even. Just raise that left leg high. I know. Yoga's not perfect. Breathe for 3. Find something that's not moving for 2. Crescent pose, land that leg back, arms high. It's over. Find that warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Side angle, right arm down, left arm high. Breathe. When side angle feels easy after that. Take 3 more deep breaths. We got it. Good. Let's place those hands down, runner's lunge. I want you to drop that back knee down and just lean back. So Ardha Hanuman, you can, Hanuman. So you can slide that right foot a little bit further forward. Try to keep that left hip over the knee. Doesn't matter if the knee is bent to me, just fold your body forward. Don't think bringing the head down, think ribs forward. Keeping that back foot still engaged. Good, I want you to slowly shift back forward. We're gonna find that low lunge, or runner's lunge. Curl the toes back behind you, let that thigh lift. Little movement, you're gonna lean back, bend the left knee, and then shift forward. You're gonna lean back, bend the left knee, yep, and shift forward. 3 more, bend the back knee, and shift. 2 more. Last one. Good, so in this runner's lunge, I want you to walk your hands forward, standing split. Don't focus on how high that leg goes, but don't roll that hip out. Think left toe is pointing down towards the ground. Sometimes I just place my hands wherever they need to be flat, so if that's like a 3-legged down dog, go for that. Or place your hand, right hand behind that right calf. Use that to send that leg up a little bit higher, knowing you have the hands to catch you if anything, right? Yeah. Try to keep the left toes pointing down towards the ground. Maybe give yourself a kiss or blow yourself one for 2. Place your hands down. Runner's lunge. Land the leg back. Good. Drop the back knee. Inhale the arms high towards the sky. Keep hugging that left hip in. Bring your arms out wide. Feel the elbows pull back. Feel the ribs lift. Just taking a moment. Maybe counting back how far you can. Whenever we offer these back bends, you might lose your balance. Take your time. Inhale, arms high. Place your hands down, runner's lunge, thigh lifts. Step forward, forward bend. Separate those feet hip distance. Grab onto the big toes with your peace fingers, Padahastasana. Let's look up, inhale. Exhale, fold, lies, Padangustasana. But anybody who's counting. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep those quads active. Feel the grip pull you down a little bit more, a little active stretch. Good, calming that nervous system for a moment. Let's inhale, lengthen. Hands towards your hips. Come all the way back up towards standing. Shoulders roll back and down. Wiggle those feet closer together. Find your chair. Drop those hips, arms high. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen, twist towards the left. Right elbow towards the outside. So really just try to find your balance. Feeling that belly lift as you twist, engaging those bandhas. Pelvic floor lifting, belly in. Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha for 3. Look at your left toes. That funky flamingo again. Kick your butt with that right leg. I always like to find a point on the ground that's obviously not moving. Keep breathing. Revolved crescent. Send that leg back behind. Take your time to adjust. Gaze over that left elbow if you're able. So forget about how the right side went, right? But it went great. Let's go ahead, find your focal point, slowly shift forward. Think warrior 3. Keep that left leg bent, right leg just lifts. Keep that right leg strong back behind you for only 3. For 2, crescent, land that leg, arms high. Good, find that warrior 2, it's over. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Side angle, left arm comes down, right arm high. Let's find that runner's lunge. Place those hands down. Drop the back knee. Let's lean back here. So slide that left foot forward. Try to keep that right hip over the knee. And then I like to walk my body forward as much as I can and then draping over. Try to keeping those left toes still flexed towards the face. If you have splits in your practice, you can come into it. You're definitely more than prime. And then we'll slowly find that low runner's lunge. So shift your weight forward. Let that thigh lift back behind you. Same thing as before. I want you to lean back, bend your right knee, and then rock forward. Bend that right knee, and shift forward. Good, 3 more like that. Standing split, walk those hands forward, let that right leg lift high. You can place that left hand behind that left calf, hold here. Don't forget about that leg that's floating. Feel that leg lift, breathe. Think low runner's lunge. Drop that foot back behind you, drop the knee. Arms high towards the sky. Keep that right hip hugging in. Goddess arms. Pull the elbows back. Feel the ribs lift. Feel all the energy that you've created, you've harnessed. Even moments that you might have felt like giving up. Extend those arms high. Place those hands down, vinyasa. Left leg back. Flow through or just meet me back in down dog. Good, so we're gonna come into our pigeon pose. Let's go ahead, lift that right leg high. Right knee comes towards that right wrist. Slide that back foot as much as you can. Open up the chest and fold your body forward. If there's any back sensitivity, if you find yourself on your back and just bringing that right ankle on top, lift the hips or keep the hips down and just feel that knee push towards the side. The shoulders hold a lot of tension, so try not to feel them creep up towards the neck or the ears. We also have a longer hold, trying to maintain that steady rhythm of your breath, even though we made it down towards the ground. Let's slowly come up to those hands. I want you to open up the chest as much as you can. Roll the shoulders back. You can stay just like this, hips square towards the front, or kick your bum with the left leg. If you kick your bum, maybe reach back with that left hand, so same foot, same hand. When you push the foot away, it's shoulder stretch. When you pull it in, it's that quad stretch. Or perfect, you can find just like Ruth, where you can hug that elbow in like you're waving and bringing that right arm back behind you. So breathe for another 3. If you have the foot, just gently release it down. We're gonna find ourselves on our right bum cheek and then send that left leg out wide. So from here, it's just like a modified Janu Sirsasana. You're gonna keep this left leg out a little bit wider than you typically do. And then just place that left hand down beside you. Reach that right arm up and over. Try to glue this right shin into the thigh. Really spiral open. You can even play with rolling the chest down, whatever feels better at this moment. Let's bring it back up. You're gonna place that right hand behind you, left arm up and over, so to the right side, yep. And left arm up and over. Keep the left toes flexed towards the face. We're gonna explore a little back bend from here. So you can keep this hand down. Just lift the hips up, let the left toes come down. And shining that left arm back behind you, looking at your hand. Good, let's slowly bring it down. I want you to kick that left leg back behind you. And then you're gonna twist your body towards the right. So left hand towards the right knee, right hand back behind. Grow tall, inhale, twist over that right shoulder, exhale. Still moving with intention, right? Lifting and twisting. Let's bring it back to center. Place your hands down. Find your plank position. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, stretch it out. Downward facing. Pigeon on that left side. Let's bring that left knee towards that left wrist. Slide that back foot back behind you. Take your time as you open, and then slowly make your way on down. You can use the hands to support your forehead. I always like to add a little bit of movement. Try not to just rest towards that side, always trying to find an evenness of the hips squaring towards the mat. You might even walk your arms forward as much as you can, just kind of melting yourself down. The second we stop, just notice if the mind immediately retreats to what has happened. Your mind immediately starts to think about what's next. Again, remember that intention of simply being in the now, knowing it's easier said than done. Let's slowly come back up to the hands again. Roll the shoulders back. You can stay just like this. Don't be attached to the same thing you did on the other. Kick your bum with that back leg. See if that feels okay. Maybe reach back with that right hand. Any variation, again, where you're still able to maintain that breath. Not letting your ego take over. And it's easy to lose our balance too, and that's okay. If that foot is lifted, let's go ahead, release it. Let's find ourselves down on the left bum cheek. Send that right leg forward. So adjust so that right leg comes out a little bit wider, right? And then you're gonna bring that right hand down, left arm up and over. Really try to glue that left hip down like mine wants to raise. I even like to add like little push-ups or little bends just to create a little bit more space. And then let's bring it back up. You're gonna place that left hand down, right arm up and over. Same thing, still feel that right hip push down towards the ground. Let's bring it back up, keep this hand down. Look at your right hand as you start to feel the hips push forward, offering that slight back bend. And then let's slowly bring it back down. Kick your butt with this right leg. Finding that twist, right hand towards that left knee, left hand back behind. You can even use that left sole of the foot to push on the thigh. Sometimes that gets a nicer stretch to the sole. Let's slowly bring it back to center. Extend those feet forward. Just give them a nice little shake. Keep your heels down if you can. Arms come forward. Let's slowly roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Perfect. And then once you're there, Go ahead, bring the soles of the feet down, knees high. And just windshield wipe those knees from side to side. And then bring those soles of the feet as wide as your mat. Let that right knee cave in towards the center. Let that left ankle to rest right on top of it if that feels okay. Allow those hands just to surrender whatever feels nice. The eyes might even close at this point, if they haven't done so already. So we found an all body flow, a lot of twists. I'm just closing it down with some hip opening. Let's go ahead, place those soles of the feet down, knees high. Bringing that left knee to cave in now. And that right ankle might rest right on top of that. With every exhale, just surrendering a little bit deeper into that mat. And then let's slowly bring it back to center. Let's find a supine twist, hug the knees in towards the body. Allow those knees to fall towards the right side, arms extend wide and head turns towards the left. So you can even extend that top leg straight if that feels nice. You can kick that left leg towards the butt with the left hand might find it. You might be content just being exactly as you are, and that's fine too. Recognizing where you're challenged and how you've overcome those challenges at this point. Reminding yourself the only thing that's constant is change itself. Let's slowly bring those knees back to center. Let those knees fall towards the left side where the head turns gently towards the right. Making any adjustments, any variations on this side. If anything, for those of you at home, just making sure that the shoulders are down as opposed to the knees all the way down towards the ground. And then slowly bringing it back to center. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Lift the head, lift the shoulders. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then slowly release it all the way down for your final relaxation, your Shavasana. So extending those legs out, allow those arms to rest whatever way feels comfortable. Even taking a deep inhale. And gently part the lips, let it go. So try never to rush the step. We're always in our constant flow, always constantly on the go. So really try to embrace these next few moments of stillness, of peace, of quiet. Noticing as you surrender on your mat, allowing every part of your body just to be still. Noticing the heart rate starting to slow down, noticing the breath starting to slow down, returning back to normal. And simply allowing yourself to be. Start to add a little bit of movement through those fingers and those toes, the wrist and your ankles.
And then reaching your arms up and overhead, give yourself that full body stretch, extending those legs forward. Hugging those knees and towards the chest and falling to either direction if you'd like a few moments for yourself. And when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seated position, hands can rest on the thighs or back to heart center, whatever you prefer. And I thank each and every one of you beautiful women for sharing your practice with me today, and those out you in the interwebs. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their days.
Namaste.